This is episode 618, and today we're going to be continuing talking about peak performance, and that is the stress plus recovery equals growth. And today we're going to be talking about the courage to rest. This is the formula. It's not stress plus stress equals growth. It's stress and recovery, which recovery, rest is part of recovery. And when we can recover to the optimum degree, we then can grow and handle more, quote, stress, whether that's physical stress, mental stress, or emotional stress. So I'm going to go over some of the rest processes or the rest components in that formula today. Some of them may be familiar, some of them may be new to you. But either way, we want to keep in mind that stress plus recovery or stress plus rest equals growth. And what we want to do is be able to grow your mindful muscle with meditation. Now, meditation means different things to different people. It's just like the word exercise. People ask you, do you exercise? Well, what do you mean? Well, do you lift weights? Do you CrossFit? Do you play volleyball? Well, all those are exercises. So there's many, many, many different ways to meditate. And effectively, meditation ultimately is to allow you to know yourself. But we don't want to stop thoughts. There's a whole bunch of stuff with it in the beginning that we just want to be still there. So what you really want to do is find time when you're not distracted. And I'm going to preface this as, if you've never meditated before and you want to build the habit of meditation, you want to find the minimum, the least amount you can do. So in this tip, I'm going to be talking about a 1-minute meditation, because everybody can find a minute, whether that's in the bathroom, when you first wake up. There's always a minute to be found in the day. So when that time comes, you really want to minimize your distractions. We don't want to be meditating this meditation in front of a TV when people are talking to us and stuff. We really want to minimize that distraction. If you do this at work, you may want to close your office door if you have that. If not, you may want to go to a separate room, but you want to be free from distractions. And you can sit in a comfortable position. If you're at home and you just wake up, laying down is okay. We want to stay awake and we want to stay aware of our surroundings. If you have to, use noise cancellation earbuds or headphones. And then set a timer for longer than 1 minute meditations. But for this particular one, you are going to be your own timer. And what you want to do is close your eyes and inhale to a count of 4, exhale to a count of 6. So that's 10 seconds. Do that 6 times, and there is your 1-minute meditation. So people say, well, what should I be thinking about during that time? Well, you're supposed to be counting. So you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you really won't be thinking about anything because the mind can only hold one thought at a time. So as you're counting, that holds that thought. What you want to do is just focusing on your breath. Now, as this extends and you do a 2-minute, 3-minute, 4-minute, when we focus on our breath, we are also focusing on how our body is responding to that breath. Is our belly going out and then our chest coming up? Is our belly going in? So we want to pay attention, be mindful of not just the counting, but what our body is doing as well. And again, we just want to begin with 1 minute. And when you feel you have mastered that, maybe go to 1.5 minutes and go to, all right, we don't want to go from 1 minute to a half hour. We want to do these in small incremental degrees, right? Kaizen, a little bit improvement every day. And then repeat this. So it's better to do 1-minute meditations 7 days in a row than 1 day of meditation for 7 minutes, because we want to build the consistency. Habits are built on consistency. And so we want to build the habit and also basically enjoy the benefits of it. But 1-minute meditation 7 days in a row will do a lot better than 1 10-minute meditation a week. So what we can do then is, as we grow, that is just one way to grow a mindful muscle, but then we can start to apply this calmness, this mindfulness into our everyday life. And so what you can do is have a calm internal dialogue with yourself during stressful moments. And keep in mind that you are not you are your emotions. You are feeling your emotions. And so by doing this practice, you'll be aware of disassociating yourself from the emotions. When we say I am mad, that means you are the emotion. When I'm feeling mad, that is what you are sensing. So, in addition to noticing the emotion, right, but this is all part of recovery. We want to separate ourselves from that emotion. When we say we are something, that is it. But if we are feeling the emotion, we are separate from that emotion. And then you can practice identifying the very specific emotion. If you do a Google search for feeling wheel, there's this great tool that was developed by a child psychologist to help kids express their emotions. What are they feeling? Well, guess what? As kids, if you didn't have that opportunity, you don't know how to express your feelings correctly now. So, regardless if this tool is made for a fifth grader or not, if you don't know how to express them, if you don't know how to identify all the different types of emotions, then go ahead and Google feeling wheel, and you'll see this wonderful wheel that's broken up into different segments and colors. And look at that and identify these feelings because, in previous podcasts, I talk about words having power. Words evoke in us those emotions. So if you are enraged versus annoyed, you're going to feel that shift in your body. So knowing how to identify those emotions will allow you to rest, to recover. Um, and so be aware of when you want to turn it off, like turn off the stress, and then choose to leave the stress behind. If it's in your mind, that's very, quote, easy, unquote, to leave behind because you focus on what you want. So if you're in your mind about a past situation and you're feeling anxious and you're feeling stress, simply ask yourself, how do I want to feel? What do I need to think or do to feel that way? And then that will help you break the attachment to that stress. In addition to that, you want to take a couple of deep breaths because that activates the frontal cortex, which is your executive functions. But you take some deep breaths, which engage the parasympathetic nervous system, and then you can leave that stress behind. Again, these are all little tools that you can put in your toolkit for that recovery part of stress plus recovery equals growth. And take small breaks. When you're working on a strenuous task at work or at home and you hit an impasse, have the courage to step away. You will be amazed if you're at work and you're banging your head against the desk, not literally, I hope, but if you're getting so frustrated, the more you try to push through it, often we block ourselves. So we remove ourselves from work, we go outside, we walk around, we relax because then when our parasympathetic nervous system is engaged, we have access to all parts of our brain. Then answers will come to us and we will have these aha moments as we are completely relaxed. So that is, that's part of the courage to rest is when you're engaged in something and you're hitting your head against the wall, step away for a while. Step away from whatever you're doing for, 5 minutes or so. The more stressful the task, the longer the break. Maybe not months of a break, but you want to take a long break and, consider stepping away until the next day for really, really tough things and let your unconscious mind do the work for you when you're sleeping. And this is why it sometimes takes courage to rest is if we're trying to come up with an idea, we're trying to think of something, and we're forcing ourselves to do it, we are in the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight, and we are actually cutting off certain resources to the brain. When we're sleeping, our unconscious mind knows what we're trying to accomplish. And when we're sleeping, it will still go to work thinking of the solution. And when you wake up, or you may wake up in the middle of the night with, aha, there's the solution. So during the breaks, perform activities that, demand little focus. When you're going outside, go for a walk, sit in nature, meditate. recover socially, like, go out and chat with friends. But when you're chatting with people, don't chat about the problem, just chat about something else, right? Listen to music. That is really awesome. Take a shower. Do the dishes, do something that is mindless. Obviously, if you're at work, you may not be able to do the dishes, but since so many people work from home, that is a viable option. So you may have an aha moment during your break. If you do, great. If don't, know that your subconscious is still working on that challenge. And when you return, you're more likely to make progress. You will have the information available. So we need to have the courage to rest during those stressful situations. Rest takes as much effort as stress. More people think it's stress plus stress plus stress plus stress equals results. And it's really stress plus rest equals growth to produce the results. Without the rest, we can't grow. This may be the most challenging practice you'll face is rest. I know if you're very active physically and wanting to go to the gym all the time, we often have to take a few days away from the gym to rest, to let our body completely recover. That is the toughest part for me, and that's the toughest part for a lot of athletes. You may not be in the gym that much, but if you really are diving into your work, taking a break and walking away may be the most challenging thing that you can face right now. But keep at it and you will succeed. You will be able to get that formula, stress plus recovery equals growth. So if you want to see the show notes on this podcast, please go over to warriormindcoach.com. You will find my podcast there, some blog posts, information about myself, and being able to request an introductory consultation. Since you'll be on the internet, please follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest under Warrior Mindcoach.